Okay, in this video, we're going to show you how to hop up your RC car just using some basic tools, stuff you can buy from Radio Shack. This is going to be your key element right here. As you can see on the cars, we have a control group and we have a test group. These cars are identical. They're from 1988 Radio Shack, of course. We got one down here in the box. This is the box they used to come in. But we're going to show you the proper way to hop up your car. Not like these other guys that are doing some dumb stuff on here. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. As you can see, I got a bunch of basic tools here. Now the scale is something that I'm going to be checking the car's weight, what we're taking off the car. Of course, we need the ohm meter and pliers and, definitely a soldering iron like that because we're going to do some work to the motor. And this right here is our motor formula. As you can see, work equals force times distance. So we are going to be checking the car times distance. I guess we might as well start ripping it apart. So here we go. Mark is set. Go. Oh, get set. Go. As you can see, our control time and our test time on both cars were equal, 2.5 seconds at a distance of 9 foot 8 inches. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take the car apart and buy a million pieces and start the work. Okay, now that we got all the screws out, we can take the car apart. And we can see here we got a decent set of electronics and a whole lot of other stuff we don't need that creates a lot of extra weight in the car. We're going to start by taking off the gearbox for the rear motor. I'm going to actually unsolder this and take it off. And then we're also going to strip like the windows and the other heavy components out of the car, and we're going to strip as much weight off the chassis as possible. Take your soldering iron and unsolder your wiring. Now that we got our gearbox out, we'll get to the fun stuff. Another fact, always remember your gear settings, where your gears are, the position of your gears. All that makes a difference. Now some people ask, how do you get that metal gear off the end of there? It's really simple. All you got to do is just heat it up with a lighter and pull it off with a pair of pliers. After a couple tries, you'll get it. It's pretty easy. Now with the gear off, we can start working on the motor. Start by taking off these little tabs, just bend them open so that you can pull the plastic back off. Be careful with your wires. You can unsolder these capacitors if you need to from the chassis of the motor. But in my case, I don't need to. I can move them right out the way. What you're trying to do is get to the armature. You're trying to take the armature out of the motor. Now that I have the motor open, you can see the armature between the magnets. Looks pretty good. Thick wire. A lot thicker than I expected, but we're still going to upgrade it. I may have to choose a different wire. This is the wire I was going to use, but I think we're going to use something a little bigger. Alright, so we pull this out, and that's the piece we're looking for, right there. We're going to unsolder these wires and take them off of here. Ohm meter, you need to test the ohms of your armature. Now count the turns of the wire as you take it off the armature. You may have to pull up the little washer off the end. The easy way to do this is with a knife. There were 66 turns on my motor. It came to an average ohm of 9.3 ohms. As you can see on Radio Shack's website, this is the wire I bought. Okay, now on my engine, or my motor, there was 26 gauge wire, and that's this here, like that. And this roll here is also 26, so we're going to have to put something a little beefier up there. So here we are, and we got 22 gauge wire here, and we're going to rewind the motor with this wire. Now solder your new wire to the armature in the same way that it was put on before. Now begin to hand wind it, one wind at a time. Make sure you keep the rows tight and uniform. Now when you're done, you should have something that looks like this. Now time to reassemble the motor. Now that you got your motor reassembled, check and make sure that it spins freely, and then do a test on it to make sure that it's working properly. Sounds good. Now reassemble your gearbox. Now check your gearbox to make sure that everything's properly aligned and you don't have any gears or anything out of place. Now reinstall your rear end into your car. Remember the placement of screws, springs, and any other components. Okay, now for the next step. Take off your electronics, whatever radio came with the car, and locate, if I can get it here, locate your power transistors. Now that's these two right here. Okay, now this one has a heat sink on it. This is obviously a turbo transistor. So what you're going to want to do is put a bigger heat sink on this, and hopefully this right here has enough, will hold enough amperage to hold the motor, because I had to drop about 5 amps on my motor, or 5 ohms on my motor, so hopefully this will compensate. If not, I'm going to upgrade the electronics anyway. I'm going to put a regular radio in this car, and I'm going to go to a battery pack. But for now, I just want to try to keep it stopped. So, alright, so that's the tip. Now reattach your wires to the electronics. As you can see, I've updated the heatsink, and I've also stripped the body. taking out the windows, all the extra plastic and stuff it don't need. And we're going to be adding some stuff back to it. We're going to make our windows out of an old box. This is a Misato box. It was for another project I'm working on. We'll see more video of that later. But this is what we're going to cut our windows and our vents for the body out of. It's twice as light as what came out of it. After you've marked out your glass, all you have to do is cut it out, and then you're going to use the hot glue gun to install it. Okay, as you can see, I've updated the wiring going to the engine or the motor, and we are finished with all our glass. Looks good. It's nice, clear, shiny. Gives the car a unique look, and it also makes it a lot lighter. So now we'll go ahead and put this thing back together. We test our motor real quick and make sure it's running fine. Oh, that sounds 100 times better. Alright. Now, as you can see, I've taken off the spoiler, of course. I'm going to replace them and make one of my own out of a lighter material. But look, we've taken 45.7 grams off the car. Okay, well, we got the car totally assembled and ready for its first run. We totaled the bed, but about 5 hours work. At least we got the car done. Get set, go. Oh, now my last video, you've seen the car do 1.5 seconds. That took a complete second off of that 9 foot mark. It was 9 foot 8 inches, and took a complete second off of that. So as you can see next to my Jeep, it's a pretty small car, but I just wanted to give you some idea of just how fast it is. Pretty quick. See if it'll burn out. Not bad. Now, last time we had a time of 4 seconds from this end of the driveway to the other end. So now we're going to see what we can do with it after the modifications. Okay. That was about 3 seconds, so we cut a whole second off there too.